Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I'm Jill Troderman on Feeding the Family. And today we're going to be exploring the union of nature and science in skincare. My next guest says, your skin tells a story of resilience, of memory, of healing. So, what does your skin tell about you, your history and your lifestyle? From scars to wrinkles to bumps and bruises, from rough skin to silky smooth skin, our outer layer tells a lot about who we are and where we have been. But at different stages and phases of life, we need to tend to our skin in different ways so we can create the most healthiest skin from the inside out and the outside in. Today, we are diving deep into redefining how and why to take care of our skin. Do conventional treatments work, or are we better off using natural products? What about children and babies? We know they need sunlight to grow, but how much sun is good for their skin? And what kinds of sunscreens, if any, should we be using? Today, we have a very inspirational and dynamic guest who is passionate about all things skin, and her name is Donna Cherie.
Thanks, Jill.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about Donna. Her journey began with the frustration of stubborn teenage acne, treated by harsh solutions that promised results but left lasting imprints. From benzoyl peroxide to glycolic acid, retinols to lasers, she followed the path laid out by conventional treatments, treating the symptom. But over time, it became clear when skin is constantly pushed to perform, it forgets how to rest. So Donna's skin had stopped healing, and that was her turning point. True skin's health isn't about forcing change. It's about creating safety, ease, and support. It's about restoring your skin's natural intelligence. So today, Donna is a licensed holistic esthetician and skin therapist, trained with honors at Cinta Aveda Institute, and is continuously deepening her expertise through advanced studies, including advanced skin analysis, sculptural facelifting, Reiki, connective tissue therapy, lymphatic massage, and cosmetic chemistry from UCLA. Wow! This is a great resume.
Thank you.
All right, welcome, Donna. We have so much to share, to talk about, and to share with our audience.
Yes.
So, you talk about that skin is not just about appearance. It's about nervous system support, barrier repair, and deep restoration, so that when we create the right conditions, our skin knows what to do, and it comes alive, and it softens and glows. So that sounds great, and I think that's what most people really want. In particular, I know women are hyper aware of we are as women aware of our skin, and I know dudes are too. So where do people start? Where can we start with you on some of the foundational approaches to good health?
Well, when I became an esthetician, I found that so many women had gone to great lengths for beauty, or what we characterize as beauty, and really sacrificed the health of their skin to attain that. And it's really by constantly forcing the skin to perform. And my method, my observation, is to nourish your skin in a kind and loving way, and provide excellent circulation, excellent products. Because as an esthetician, I touch your skin once a month, once every 2 months maybe. It's really what you're doing at home. So what I try to do is educate my clients on things that they can do at home. Some things are expensive, some things don't cost very much. It's mostly you have to give attention to yourself, and that is required. And so many people don't want to do that, give that time to themselves. And believe me, I go through it. I gave at the office. I don't want to take 5 minutes to cleanse my face at night. All of those things. But the more that I've made it a ritual of, I have yellow lights in my house. There's so many things I take for granted that I'm not sure everybody is used to or aware of, like lighting in your house in the evening should be dim.
I was actually just researching lights and the blue lights and the LEDs and how that overstimulates us at night. Mm-hmm. And so the red light is better at night, and that's the sunlight at dusk and dawn.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct. And yellow light,
And yellow
like
light.
our campfires.
The campfire and the
and
candles.
candles, yes. But they
this is great. What a great synergy that you were thinking about that, and I'm thinking about that too. So how does that impact our skin? Does that have to do with stress?
It's mainly that you begin to slow down. And you begin to pay attention to yourself and your skin. And like I said, create a ritual. And if you're already moving into a calm state by having your home calm, loud noises diminished. It's so funny. My little granddaughters come over. They're 8 and 9. And I'm like, it's Nana's quiet time, after 6 o'clock. And they know. I mean, they really know. They really try to talk it very softly after 6 o'clock. And, because, they're 8 and 9.
Yeah, they're ready to party at 8 and 9 at 6 o'clock.
Right. So it's really having, my environment calm, and then I move into, I call it my nightly ablutions. And the more that I've made it a ritual, the more enjoyable it's become. And so, so I go through a process. Everybody is just a little bit different. We really are all snowflakes. Like what works for some people and their skin is completely not okay for somebody else. And so it's finding what the appropriate products that you should be using, and then finding a way to get those. It's okay.
Sorry, I'm having a little coughing thing.
And finding a way to apply them and to make it a ritual so it's enjoyable. Because if you don't like your products, if you don't enjoy the process, then you're really not going to do it.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so let's dial that back a little bit. Let's talk about like hydration, something really simple that everybody can do.
Well, it's funny. Okay, so you're talking about how light came into your consciousness about dimming the lights in the evening. I was thinking that not everybody does this, and I am so automatic. Like the very first thing that I do in the morning is I drink probably 16 ounces of water, of warm water. I do half of it cold and then pour in boiling water so it's like warm, and I add a pinch of salt. Like not everybody knows to do that. I know so many people that are younger that the first thing they do, have a cup of coffee. That is just like, you blow out the adrenals. Actually, and I do drink coffee, so I'm not dissing coffee. I'm just saying hydrate first.
Right.
And I know you were talking about...
And brush your teeth first.
I know you were talking about hydrating your skin.
Yes.
But you have to actually hydrate from the inside out.
Right.
And
so let's say that. Like we always want to put things on our skin, but first, that's what as a nutritionist, I want to get to that. We start first with our food and the hydration and antioxidants before we want to even get to all the beautiful lotions and all the oils and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And those things, honestly, there's this 3-part thing that you really have to be doing, and it's your body and your mind. And then your skin.
Okay.
Well, body, mind, and I include spirit with mind.
Yes.
Honestly, you can have the best products on the planet and all the exosomes in the world, pay $400, whatever it is. And if your thinking is negative, nothing is going to make you beautiful.
Wow.
Nothing
That's
is
really
going
profound.
nothing is going to come from you that will create beauty. So negative self-talk is a big deal with women, especially with women. It's so funny. I have people tell me all the time, I wouldn't even talk to my friend the way that I would talk to myself sometimes. And so, and it's over time, I'm older now, and so I know my inner self really well. I'm a meditator. I've been meditating for years, and so I know who I am, and that negative voice has gotten quieter and quieter. It is still there, though. So it does take vigilance and consistent work to keep the mind balanced, and me in charge of my mind rather than my mind in charge of me.
So health really starts with how we're thinking about ourselves, and it's our attitude and our affect in life,
I'm
essentially.
nodding, you guys. You can't see me, but I'm nodding while
Donna's
she's saying
nodding.
there.
I know. I definitely want to get this on video so we can
Yeah.
someday we'll advance to video and
Yeah.
properly do this podcast.
Yeah, it's
But
an eventual thing.
it is.
Yeah.
So, and that's like all health things start with the mind. So you even know what you want to do. So you have a good attitude. You're hydrating in the morning.
Right. And a pinch of salt, a little tiny bit of salt, not so your water tastes salty, but really helps with hydration. I mean, I know
Perfect.
they have all these hydration packs now. Oh my gosh, all the stuff they want us to buy.
Right.
But really, sea salt or pink salt, a little bit of that is plenty. And
And a little lemon, of course.
yeah, lemon
you can't
is
go wrong
nice.
with
Yeah,
that because
lemon
that's
is
going to give the
nice.
vitamin C.
But not. I mean, it's not thoroughly necessary. Anyway, just hydrating from the inside, eating fresh fruits at least. Vegetables are great, but fruits are really. And when I say fruit, I don't mean bananas. Nothing that you peel. I mean fruit that has the skin intact, that you eat the skin, because that helps with the blood sugar.
Interesting. I never heard like the peeling factor ever.
Yeah.
I've never heard that
Yeah,
ever.
so the peel helps because it has so much fiber, and so that drags the sugar down with it, and also helps with digestion. It's really good for digestion. So that is another way of getting hydrated. For your exterior, it just really depends on your skin. Some people can get away with oils. A lot of people really can't. Like, they need to have water emulsified in an oil to have, because then the water is on, there's an occlusive barrier that holds that water in. That's why a lot of cosmetics and skincare has a water content. That's exactly why, is to hydrate the skin from the outside.
Right. So as we're aging, I wanted to get back to your origin story with your skin. You started off, you said you had acne, and that's what got you onto this whole thing. So could you take us through your journey?
Sure.
And get to where we are now?
Sure.
I wanted to go back in time a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think when we're young, we're sunning, we do think about our skin. I know when I was a kid, I put on lots of makeup. And I'm like, why would I put on all this foundation as a youngster now? I reflect on that when you have the most beautiful skin. But kids do have acne. And maybe there's some parents out there listening, or teenagers listening, and even adults have acne. So what was your story? How did you deal with that? And that really got you onto this whole more natural approach to skincare.
Right. Well, with the acne, the reason I ended up in laser, which was the last thing, and that's how I ended up in the esthetician program, is because I got burned alive by a laser. Like, I was like a vampire. I couldn't go outside for over a week. It was awful. I mean, the whole epidermis of my face was burned off.
This is when you were an adult or when you were a kid?
I was an adult. No, I was like in my late 50s, because that's how they address hyperpigmentation a lot and acne scarring. That's how the medical community addresses it.
So you had scarring from when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. I had lots of scarring along the jawline. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
But see, again, it's so much about how we feel about ourselves. Like, if we feel okay, then why would you notice that?
100%.
You would notice if I feel okay.
Yes, I notice your shiny eyes and your smile.
Yes.
And your glowing skin.
My skin does look good, huh?
It does.
It is the best it's ever been.
Yeah,
and
it's beautiful. I've known Donna for many years, so.
Yeah, yes, you have. We go way back. So this is what happened. I grew up in a family where there wasn't a lot of care for the children, and so really, when I became a teenager and started breaking out, what I would do is just pile makeup on top of it. I had no idea about cleansing my skin, and there was, okay, TikTok and Instagram are a blessing and a curse.
Okay.
I mean, some of the stuff that I see on TikTok and Instagram just blows my mind. And I know that young people are going, oh yeah, let's try this. I mean, everything from urine on your skin. I mean, just really BS stuff, you know, to different products. And, you know, Korean skincare products are really all the rage, but they do a lot of animal testing, and you can't read Korean. And the ingredients, they add fragrance to a lot of their stuff. I actually, I do want to say this, and this is a hard and fast rule of mine. If it has fragrance or parfum on the label, I do not buy it, because much different than organic food. Any organic skincare, they can label it organic because it is a carbon, it's made of carbon, so it can be labeled organic, but they can throw in anything under those ingredients of fragrance and parfum.
Okay.
It's not just what it smells like. And so, yeah, I don't buy anything like that. But okay, so the acne thing, finally, let me see. I don't know how old I was. I think I had kids, and it was in the early 80s, and glycolic acid had just come out. Oh, I remember I used the Proactive, you know, drying stuff, the benzoyl peroxide.
Yes.
So a lot of these things, I mean, so well intentioned, and they did work, but it was like bombing a flea with an atomic bomb.
Right.
You know, just so over the top, and a lot of the molecules are super irritating to the skin rather than nourishing and helping the skin rediscover its function. I think a lot of aging really is a result of skin dysfunction, and so there's really exciting things out now. There's peptides, and everybody knows peptides because of Ozempic, you know, so they know about peptides now. But they've been studying peptides since the late 90s, and these are cell communicators, so your skin can heal with peptides. Exosomes and stem cells are the other just fascinating to watch how the skin can be transformed in a very short period of time. So those treatments are a little bit expensive, but
those are good for people with acne.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Peptides.
Yeah, peptides. The other
That's
thing,
like a protein.
yeah, I do. Yeah, they're protein amino acids.
Yep.
Peptides originate from that.
What's the form of those peptides? How do you get those?
Oh, they're in a glass dropper.
Okay.
You drop them on your face,
Oh,
and
that's
then
so beautiful.
and they feel like water. I
Okay.
mean, but they're cell communicators, so they tell your skin what's needed.
Right. So yeah, we could go back to the molecular science. I mean, proteins make up our whole entire body.
Absolutely.
Our
yeah.
collagen, our skin, nail, everything is made of proteins. That's our building blocks.
Right.
So naturally, this would be a scientist's most exciting discovery is to isolate those peptides for skincare.
Right. Exactly.
So it's natural, but it's science.
Absolutely.
So we're taking the best of nature.
Yeah, it's all done in a laboratory, but it's the most natural skincare that there is because our body knows what these substances are. I mean, it's super familiar with them.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Can you get that over the counter?
Yeah, of course.
You
yeah.
can. Okay.
I have it.
That
I
just
have
shows
it.
you that
Come
I
on
have not
over.
been to the beauty section of the health.
Yeah, come on
department.
over. And the other thing is there's varying degrees. Like you'll see everybody has, you know, peptides in their this serum and that serum. And again, if you're looking like at Ulta or Sephora, really, you guys, fragrance and parfum
Right.
is the other word they use. They don't use perfume, they use parfum.
Everyone's seen that.
Yeah.
If you're not reading your labels, everybody.
Yeah, this is about reading labels and being conscious with your purchasing decisions.
Yeah, and let's just say look in your shampoos and your soaps, like anything you're putting on your body is going to go into your skin.
Yeah.
And that's what Donna is talking to us about today is skincare. So I was just checking some other things. So what were you saying? The other like not the glycolic the amino acids, exosomes, and plant stem cells.
Yeah, plant stem. Well, what they are is stem cells that are human-based media, but they're not human stem cells. It's really the science goes. What I can tell you, the easiest
from
way.
Plants.
Yeah, the easiest way that I can tell you that how it interacts is our skin is familiar because it's speaking the same. They're cell communicators that speak the same language that your skin speaks. So, yeah.
And just like in food with artificial ingredients, our body doesn't recognize it, or hormones. If you're on hormone replacement therapy, the horse estrogen does not mimic our human estrogen.
Correct.
So same with anything that you're going to put on your face. So that's why we like plants.
Yeah.
Those plant things. So what do you wish you knew about skincare 30 years ago that you would wish you knew today?
Okay. I wish that I knew that evening cleansing is probably the most important thing you can do.
Okay, let's go through that evening cleansing. So how many people are literally washing their makeup off their face or after yard work? How important is it really?
So there are so many pollutants in the atmosphere. If you're not wearing sunscreen on your face, you probably should be, because it's the only area that's exposed, and there's so many pollutants, and then the sun at various times a day. I was just talking to somebody about this. Let's talk about sunscreen. Can I
You can jump around.
Just move like that?
Yeah, 100%.
So the thing about sunscreen is, and I know this because in the Montessori school, I would watch these kids.
Donna was a Montessori school teacher and an administrator.
Yeah, I would watch these children that, between the ages of 2.5 and 5, when they're still very connected to their body, very connected. And they would, when the sun was high in the sky, they would play in the shade.
Wow, yeah, they just
they just gravitate and know. They'll go in the sun to grab the toy or whatever and drag it over to the shade. And I feel like as humans, that we are so disconnected from our bodies that we don't feel. It's like when somebody goes on vacation and they haven't been out in the sun in, a whole year, and they're going to go lay on the beach for 10 days, and then they get a royal sunburn, even with sunscreen on. It's because they're trying to catch up because they haven't been out in the sun at all. And so I think that there are certain times of the day that are critical, like early morning sun, critical to be out there without sunscreen and with I'm really going to get crucified for this, you guys.
Okay. And you have a nice tan going, and I've got a big tan going.
But as an esthetician, I mean, so I think you need to protect your face for these reasons. If you use anything like I sell very light salicylic acid and mandelic acid, those are to help dissolve the outer skin barrier. That's the gets crusty the older you become. And anyway, if you're using anything that takes off some of the skin barrier, you must wear sunscreen. I mean, you're just at the mercy of the sun.
So older skin needs sunscreen, and then what about kids, like little? So kids naturally, you said, have the intuition to play in the shade. And
they
the
do.
best time to get sun is in the early morning hours.
And evening.
It's good for
evening
our eyes
is good too. Yeah.
To acclimate, to get our cortisol going.
And to get our melatonin
and
set.
To get the melatonin
it's 16 hours
evening.
Later is the melatonin.
And they
kicks in.
Yeah, and there's so much science also that says skin cancer started to increase when we started to wear sunglasses.
Well, and when we started using sunscreen.
And sunscreen too. So we're saying a lot of contradictory things, but sun is important. We all need sun. We live on planet Earth. But the time of the day to get the sun is important.
Yes, because...
And we're also going to get into seed oils too, because that talks about sun and how our skin responds to sun, and how our diet impacts our skin's response.
Right. You want to do that now?
I do, but I'm thinking now might be the perfect time for us to take a quick commercial break.
We're commercialing.
We're going to commercialing, and we're going to, when we get back with Donna Cherie, we're going to talk about when to put on sunscreen, what types of sunscreen, how to deal with your kids in the sun, with rash guards, hats, and all that kind of stuff. And so hang on tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
How long's the break?
We're going to be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
We're market for all domestic and foreign airlines. A funny thing is going to happen when you call Low Cost Air. You're going to talk to a human being within 60 seconds. Save money on airfare to anywhere. Call Low Cost Air to compare at 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662.
Deer fence, wood fence, livestock chain link, vinyl, iron fence, Cypress Coast Fence, Cypress Coast Fence.
I'm Kevin Donovan, the owner of Cypress Coast Fence, Monterey Bay Area's premier fence company.
And I'm Katie Donovan, Kevin's sister. I'm one of the project coordinators. I'll help you choose the best fence for your needs, and I'll be with you for every step of the project.
We work with local suppliers and employ quality craftsmen to build the right fence to secure, protect, or privatize your property. We've been in business for 15 years and have been voted best fence company for 7 years running.
Give us a call for your no-obligation consultation at 831-783-1500 or at cypresscoastfence.com.
We don't just build fences, we make good neighbors.
Deer fence, wood fence, livestock chain link, vinyl, iron fence, Cypress Coast Fence, Cypress Coast Fence.
The Hook is California's first ever cannabis outlet. 100% locally owned and operated, we're here to be your friendly neighborhood hookup. We believe that everyone should have access to fairly priced cannabis, so we work hard to get it to you for 30 to 50% less than the other guys. If you're 21 or older with a valid ID, visit us in Capitola or in Watsonville today. We're here to be your friendly neighborhood hookup. Check out our website, hookoutlet.com, for deals and stay groovy.
Hey, folks. Hello, everybody. We are back with Donna Cherie, and we are talking about the differences between natural skincare, other kinds of skincare, and we were going to get into how to be safely in the sun, right, and the use of sunscreens. And also I wanted to share with our listeners about kids.
Okay.
And how parents can deal with their kids in the sun and not to be afraid of the sun.
Yes, let your kids
Because Donna
be in
and I
the
have
sun.
a really nice tan, I just want to say. And it's just barely June, so.
It's from being out in the garden.
Right?
I can't help it.
But it's nice to be in the sun, and
Yeah.
don't we feel good when we're in the sun? We feel alive and invigorated,
Exactly.
and we must get some good energy,
I
solar rays.
natural vitamin D.
Right.
Nothing like it.
There really isn't anything like natural vitamin D. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because you do generate that on your skin with cholesterol.
Yeah.
And cholesterol is important because it's the building blocks of your sex hormones.
Well, of everything.
Estrogen and everything, and our stress hormones. And anyways.
There's fat in every cell that we have, that
Right.
our body is composed of. So,
Right. And we're going to
yeah.
talk about seed oils, but because I know we
Yeah.
have 20
Okay.
hours worth of things to talk
Yes.
about, and Donna is
So-
like shooting off her chair here.
She wanted to talk about sun a little bit. So what I think about sun is there are some really good mineral sunscreens.
Okay.
If your barrier is intact, though, you can use chemical sunscreens. It's okay.
Okay.
You're going to be all right because nothing, okay, if your skin barrier is healthy, there's nothing penetrating it. Like if you put things on your face and
Oh.
it burns them, it burns your face, you have an impaired barrier most likely. And you need to work on that, like through cleansing moisture, self-massage. There's a myriad of things you can do for yourself to create a healthy barrier.
So skin barrier. So our skin barrier, I'm just going to say, is the strength and the quality of your skin cells. So if you have good skin integrity,
yes,
without getting too
it's even more
molecular.
than that. It's your skin barrier. It protects you from everything. I mean, all viruses.
Sure.
I mean, your
I was
skin
just gonna say,
barrier is
bacteria.
essential
Right.
for a healthy life. And so, if your if your barrier is impaired, don't use chemical sunscreens.
Okay.
Just don't.
So
Just
if you have fragile
use minerals.
skin, minerals.
Yeah,
Okay.
mineral sunscreen.
Okay. And then kids, they should.
And if you're out, it's mainly from the hours of like 10:30 to 2:30. Those are the main hours. I mean, there are certain times of the year when the sun is very bright. After 2:30, you can feel your way through your life. This is also about becoming acquainted with, what does this feel like on my face? Does this feel good, or is the sun burning? Then I need to wear a hat. I mean, it's really cue into what your body needs. But I do put sunscreen on every single day because I know that there are pollutants everywhere, and I want my skin protected. And I also...
So you're wearing sunscreen because you bring up those two things in conjunction. So when we're talking about sunscreen, you're using it also to prevent against pollution, which is not sun.
Against pollution, but also because the ozone layer, like the atmosphere, is very different than when we evolved. So I think that we have to be careful when we're out in that, especially in that midday sun. We have to really be guarded about that time of day. Okay,
fair enough. Now, with the skin barrier, so I'm thinking that this comes from our internal environment.
Absolutely.
So I know you really wanted to talk about seed oils, that's something we could geek out on.
It's the new thing that I came across because I decided I wanted to give up seed oils because I'd been reading more and more literature, PubMed stuff about them, and I don't know why they're still in our food supply. I'm not sure, but virtually any processed food, and what's really sad, I buy gluten-free bread from Trader Joe's. Really sad. Sunflower oil. I mean, the seed oils are like canola, sunflower, safflower. They're really highly concentrated, denatured oil that comes from seeds. And avocado oil is a fruit oil, and so is olive oil. They're fruits, so they're a little bit different, but they're also highly concentrated. I just think limit. And then I use butter. And I've really started making my own little biscuits and breads because you can't, virtually it's everything. And even what's sad is even Staff of Life, all of their prepared foods have sunflower oil.
Yeah, bread really shouldn't even have oil in it. It should pretty much just be water, maybe some leavening agents.
Yeah, I think Beckman's is pretty good, and I mean, there's some local bakeries, Alfaro's, I think that are really good, that are just like water, yeast, salt, and flour.
Right.
But
and these are
I was doing
acids.
gluten-free, so my thing was no gluten. So but I think so. What I've seen, and if you look at pictures of women in the 60s and 70s, they're all thin. Number one, they're all thin, and they aren't dieting. I was alive then and living well.
People are just naturally more slender.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that
is 100% true.
They didn't have the hyperpigmentation that they do now, and I think the hyperpigmentation, which is the dark spots on your face that you go, oh my gosh, where did that come from? They used to call them liver spots, and I do think they are liver spots because the liver is overtaxed trying to process these oils that it doesn't know what it is.
Right. Well, okay, so I can chime in on this topic a bit because the seed oils, so Donna's sharing that they're from seeds, and those are polyunsaturated fats, which are actually essential oils to have in our diet, and those go along with their omega-3 essential fatty acids, and then the seed oils are omega-6s. But because of manufacturing, 100 years ago, we used to put butter in all of our products, like biscuits and whatnot. But for affordability reasons, they made it cheaper with these seed oils. So now the American population is eating more of a ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s, which normally should be 1 to 2 or 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Omega-3s to 6s. Right now it's like 1 to 30 omega-6s. And so these are inflammatory fats. And then our cells are made up of fats, and they're best made up of saturated fats from butter, coconut oil. But our now diet, where our skin cells now are being manufactured with these seed oils. So they are more susceptible to sun damage and oxidation.
Right.
Right. So, sorry that took a long time to get that out.
It is so,
but that's the lesson there, folks.
I just want to say that I gave them up actually I will cook ganban green beans in sesame oil.
Okay, because that's delicious.
Yeah, I do use sesame oil periodically, so I get a little bit of it. But in general, I'm not eating any. What a
it's
drag
really the processed
it is.
Foods.
It's processed foods, but it's like every takeria, any place you eat French fries, it's such a drag. Everything is cooked in these seed oils, and I think that they're ruining us.
Right, and even worse than seed oils is hydrogenated oil.
Yeah.
And those are hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. And if anybody listening out there knows me and you've eaten out with me, you know I ask about that pretty much. And I'm so annoying.
I know.
So Donna, we should go out to eat together.
Yes, we should.
It'll take us like 3 hours to order. And then we'll be in the back kitchen, like throwing things away and telling them what to use. But seriously, this is like a real issue. Yeah. So, and also skin cancer's gone up, and there's these correlations between our diet. Yeah. And this quality of our environment.
Well, the biome in your stomach, I mean, there is a skin biome as well.
Yes.
And everything, the body, it's a system. It isn't like there's skin and then your GI tract and then your feet, it's like it's all one system. And so they all hold hands with each other, and so the thing that since I've really avoided them, like I was out to lunch today, really hard to not order the French fries. Right. Really hard, because they make their fries, but I said, no, I'm not going to eat those. But the change in my digestion from not having any seed oils is really helpful.
Good
Very helpful.
Yeah, that's huge. So these are really easy things that people can make or switch at home.
Yeah. Oh, making your own biscuits is awesome. I mean, it's super easy. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I made my own gnocchi the other night.
Oh, that's so funny. My daughter did that.
With garbanzo beans.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, it was super tasty. I'll post my recipe soon. So, we're talking about all these great things for skincare, and I was asking you what you would want to know when you were younger. I mean, what your younger self could tell your older self. Okay. And you were talking about the importance of cleansing our skin at night. Yeah. Like, could it get easier than that, folks?
The very first thing. And so no matter what cleanser you use, and I always get people who use Cetaphil and whatever. Right. Anyway, no matter what cleanser you use, 2 pumps on dry skin and smooth it around. Right? And all the way to your décolleté, it would be really important, but at least try to get your neck. Okay. And then once that's smoothed on, dry skin, even if there's makeup, sunscreen, just put it on.
You don't wet your skin. What about if you have a...
Hold on.
Okay.
And then you get your fingertips wet, and then you massage that and move it around. If you have makeup on, or if you've worn a heavy amount of sunscreen or reapplied sunscreen, you should do most likely a double cleanse is a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But usually I only cleanse my skin once because I'm pretty thorough about it. And I do that wetting fingertips and rubbing it around several times. And then probably the most important part at the end is to rinse really well. People, really just slap it on, rinse it off, and pat their face. And that's the other thing, is to pat your face dry. Don't drag the towel over the outermost layer. Don't drag.
Okay, I've done everything wrong, so I'm going to have to go practice.
But the dry skin, it really does allow the cleanser to work your skin a little bit.
Okay, again, I think I'm failing in the skin department because I'm just going to throw it out there. What about like Dr. Bronner's just like bar soap? Is that cringy?
Well, if if it works for you, then that's awesome. If you feel dry though, and you feel cracky, then you should probably look at your routine.
I see. And then what about moisturizing after you wash your face? Or continue. So So you pat your face dry if you're using a
Right.
good
Right. And for me,
soap.
what I do is I have some mandelic acid that I use on a couple of sunspots that I have.
Okay.
So I spot treat. Like, I don't just throw stuff all over my face.
Okay.
Like, I spot treat here, spot treat there.
Okay.
Yeah, I put that on and I wait for a few minutes. If I'm using peptides, which, I mean, and I just do different things on different nights.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a ritual.
It's
I
a
look at my
loving
face.
ritual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look at my face and I look like I could use a little bit of lift. There's this peptide called Lift
Okay.
that I put on, and it's for this area right here. And I
She's
put it
showing the
on.
jowls.
I put it on there.
Again, I don't know what she's talking about with the jowls.
and then
but
and then I let that dry. Like, give it like 2 minutes to dry. And then after all of that, I'll put on moisturizing mist, or I have this a mist called Pollen that is from H is for Love. Anyway,
Wow.
I mean,
That sounds
half
glorious.
of the reason I like being an Aestheti is because I have amazing products
I
to
know,
use.
it's true.
Just like, so if you're not loving what you're doing, then change what you're doing. I mean, I've helped people create their own cosmetics and skincare. I've helped people, choose what to buy.
Okay.
I've sent people to Ulta. I've met people at Ulta before to help them.
okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, just mainly your products are super important, but what you eat, what you drink, and how you think are equal, if not more. And the fact that you touch your face every day. And so how are you touching your face? And if you don't know how, then find somebody like me, or, I mean, there are a lot of good estheticians that can show you, okay, to cleanse your face thoroughly, this is what you need to do. I mean, people are always, they're on my table. And I finish up and I'm going, okay, we just finished cleansing. And they're like, oh my gosh, 15 minutes have gone by,
Right, right.
And so I'm not saying cleanse your face every night 15 minutes, but take 5 minutes
Right.
to really give yourself some time.
Yeah.
Your skin will really reward you for it. It
Right.
really will. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people chase beauty, and part of the beauty ritual really is slowing down and being present with yourself. I think that's what I'm getting from you is like a really big, important take-home message.
And the other thing I want to say about Dr. Brommer's, I just got to put this
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
Oh, no.
You use it under your pits. Is that different skin than your face?
I don't know, is it? They're both. Well,
Oh, boy.
Donna's going to give me a list, I think, of cleansers. But you could probably name drop a couple beauty cleansers that people could use. If you want to throw out some names.
Oh, I have so there's a really nice one by Neogenesis. That is a beautiful gel cleanser.
Okay.
Victoria Deanne has both. They have two. They have a purifying cleanser that lathers up. They have a balancing cleanser that has more aloe vera in it. It doesn't lather at all. It's very creamy. Really nice.
What did our ancestors do for cleansing their face?
I think they had a variety of things. It depended on where you were in the world. I mean, I can kind of envision people using a myriad of things on their face. I mean, everything from milk to honey to, I mean, I make masks with honey all the time.
Right, and clay
Yeah.
and honey masks are great.
Yeah.
Or they would go in sweat lodges
Exactly.
and saunas.
Yeah.
The Nordic people did that. So there's so many different things.
And they didn't eat processed foods.
And they didn't. So we're dealing with a whole nother ball
Yeah.
game here, folks.
Yeah.
But let's, if you would entertain me in the natural food world or the natural product world.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I really like to put on my skin are jojoba oil,
Yes.
hyaluronic acid. Well, I wanted to throw out things that people can buy very easily at the grocery store or
Right.
at the natural food store. Shea butter,
Yeah.
coconut butter, coconut oil.
Coconut can be really comedogenic, and so you want to be a little careful because it can plug.
Plug.
the
Okay, that's
pores.
going to clog up. So if you
yeah,
have
so-
oily skin, that's not going to be a good one.
Right, but I mean the
Olive
jojoba-
oil, all of those different natural food-based oils are really good for the skin, right?
Correct. As long as you're using some kind of some kind of mist. Put a water on your face before you put the oil on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
what you're doing is you're making an occlusive barrier with the oil.
I see.
I mean, I have a client that uses castor oil, swears by
Oh,
it.
wow, okay.
But it has I forget the name of the acid that it has in it. And, the big thing now is tallow. Use tallow.
Oh, yeah, tallow.
It has another acid. I'm sorry, I don't know the names right offhand, but they can be super irritating to some skin. So just feel your way through it. The no-brainer one though is the first one you mentioned, jojoba oil. It's the closest to skin sebum that there is. That with what is the other one that I used to blend oils for cleansing for people. Anyway,
All right,
yeah.
so a lot of these products out there, if you don't want to buy like the super high-end ones, I think at the natural food store you can find some really good quality non-fragrance products.
Yeah, just again, read the label.
Read the label. And then you also were talking about the importance of exfoliation for older skin. What does
Right.
that look like? How do we exfoliate if not dragging the towel across the face?
I like to tell the story. I gave my 9-year-old granddaughter a facial for her birthday. It's the Fufu. We call it Fufu's facial, not Nana's Fufu facial. And so she came, and I mean her skin. It's just like working on an angel, you guys. It's just angelic skin, right? So I give her the facial, and then I calculate out, like at her age, the skin cells. So the way the skin turns over is the outer bonds break apart, and so the dead skin cells go away into the environment, which there are skin cells everywhere.
Okay.
It is actually our indoors are really gross.
Okay,
I just
fair
need to
enough.
tell you. But anyway, so that's all happening naturally every 20 days. So those break apart. The exfoliation happens. I don't like that word for it, but yes, the dead skin cells leave, and then that prompts the new skin cells to come to the surface. And in older people, like that are over 50, that slows to about, so Olivia's 20 days. Older people over 50 is 84 days.
Wow.
So
That's a
older
difference.
women, that's why I use mandelic acid also. I use a very light. The trick is to use just the right amount so it's not irritating, not over exfoliating the skin, but just prompting it, just reminding it to send new skin cells to the top.
Okay.
So you don't want to thin that barrier when you're doing it. But as we age, we actually need to exfoliate. If you want clear and beautiful skin. I mean, my skin is amazing. I know it, so.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's what exfoliation is. So you can just use a light acid or a mask. Like
a mask would be great. You're actually
do you ever
exfoliating.
want to use like a little scrubby brush?
No, don't use that.
Because they sell sell them in the stores.
I know. The scrubby brushes, they exfoliate at different levels, and so it's really not uniform, and it actually can damage the barrier more than it helps.
Okay.
It helps it along.
Good to know.
Honey mask.
Okay,
Okay, if you
good.
want natural stuff, honey
Yes.
mask, or mix honey with one of your clays.
Perfect.
But don't rub it. You don't really have to rub it to make it happen. Just
Okay.
let it do its work, and then gently wet the fingertips, smooth it around, not
Okay.
rub it, smooth it around,
Okay.
and then rinse really well. And rinsing really well is a big key too. Just get all of that off before you move to adding any moisture.
Wow. Well, there's so many things to know about our skin.
Yeah, we didn't even get into circulation. Oh,
Oh, circulation. Okay,
how much time do we have?
We have 4 more minutes, but we were going to talk.
Okay.
We only have 4 minutes, but we have 4 more hours at least, I think, of talking. So we're going to have Donna come back. But
Thank you.
circulation is also important to get like the lymph drainage, so you don't get the puffy skin.
Correct.
So skin is not all about eating; it's also about like jumping on your rebounder and moving your lymph, essentially, getting your toxins out.
And actually, I brought all these wonderful massage tools from all over the world. I brought a Kanza wand, an Anma tool from Japan, a spoon from China for gua sha. So they're in every culture. What they do is some kind of facial massage and deep tissue into the muscles and the underpinnings to generate circulation.
Right.
We didn't even talk about paralyzing your muscles and what that does.
No.
I mean, we need to really have I need 4 more hours. It's
we're
true.
We're going to have to get Donna back and talk about these important things.
But in order for the lymph to drain healthily, I mean, jumping on the rebounder is great, but it's also, we carry so much tension above our neck and shoulders. And especially in days like what's happening all around us where we feel powerless. I mean, honestly, people need to come in for manual lymph drainage and for scalp massage just for stress relief, to help move all of that fluid. I mean, so scalp massage, neck release, the sternocleidomastoid, which is the big muscle on the side of the neck. All of those things need to be supple and open, and then the lymph can drain pretty easily, because the lymph is really on a really superficial level. So
it's easy to access.
Yeah, it's easy to access, but you have to have that fascia open and all of those things open for it to drain successfully, especially face and neck. I mean, 60% of our lymph is above our shoulders.
Okay.
It's like shoulders upward. So
skincare, gosh, who knew that it's not just all about cellulite and putting lots of makeup on to hide your blemishes. So we want to hydrate. We want to start our morning with lemon water, warm water with some salt.
Yeah.
And nighttime skin routines, getting rid of your seed oils. I'm just going to recap a little bit from what I remember Donna sharing.
Double wash if you wear makeup.
Double wash.
If you wear makeup. And then what was the other thing?
Enjoying the sun at like the morning hours and the evening hours, but using a mineral-based sunblock.
Yeah.
And maybe Donna can share some products, and I could post them on the show notes.
Sure.
For people. So where can people find you, Donna? What's your website?
Oh, it's donnacherie.com. It's DonnaCherie.
Okay.
So it's my name.com.
Okay. And Donna's in Santa Cruz, folks. So if you're in the Bay Area, please come pay her a visit.
And then secondarily, I have a minute to say that there's also Santa Cruz light therapy. We did not talk about LED light therapy.
Right.
But in my building is Santa Cruz light therapy. It's full body light therapy, but also I use it a lot. I use LED light in my facials. They're FDA cleared medical devices, and they just transform the human form. They really are so helpful.
So there's so many great natural products and science-based helpers that are healthy for us to use, so people don't have to use those really harsh products or things that are going to damage their skin long term. So folks, thank you to Donna for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jill.
And
really.
This was a blast. Yay!
It was fast.
I know, it goes really fast. And I know we have a lot more to talk about. I wanted to talk about watermelon, but again, watermelon is really good. It's lycopene, really good antioxidant for your skin. It's hydrating, so stay hydrated. Enjoy your fruits and vegetables. I'm Jill Troderman, and you can find me at jilltroderman.com. So have a great day, everybody.
All right.
And peace out.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.